Alright, let's start it right now. So let's first talk about what's going on in the next few weeks. We are on our 15th week. So, what do so we're gonna have a 1 week holiday in next week, start from 25th until the January 2nd. So other than that, we're gonna still have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. We still have 6 weeks. Okay. So we'll use about 5 weeks to working on React and your final project. And the last week going to be help you to prepare for the incoming interviews. We're going to optimize our GitHub account, writing a README to put all our files in the good structures, and we're gonna help you to write resumes, and also to prepare your LinkedIn, and teach you what's gonna happening in the interview, and some technical questions. Um, and in the upcoming 5 weeks, we are going to spend about 1 to 2 days to learn the basic ideas what is React and how it works. And then we're going to split students here into teams, and we're going to learn using this chance to do a final project, to do a team project. And we are going to have a chance to learn and practice React in this final project. And you will be able to put both Angular and React into your resume, right? So before we learn the React, let's just review what we did for the Angular, alright? So I'm just writing on the whiteboard right now. So for the Angular, we have the component, we have a client service, we have server service, and we have a database, right? So in the client side, we have a component, which are like a login component, register component, profile component, website component, page component. One component is basically just one page, and it's some HTML files and with some functions. Like it has its own HTML, CSS, and TypeScript TS file. So those are making the view part of that page. Like when you every time you load the page, it knows which function to run in the engine init, right? And when you click a button, it knows there is a function to run, like a login function, register function, and other functions there, create page, create image, or something like that, right? Those are components. And the components is linked with our client service. So in the client service, we have functions. Um, the functions in the client service they just do one thing. So they just send out a request to the server and get a response from the server. So every time when you click a button in the component, the function in the component gonna call the function in the client service, right? And client service will just send out a request to the server, and it's waiting for a response coming back from the server. And then once the client getting the data, it's just directly give it back to the component. Right? That's a way we link to the client and server together. Just communicate using the client service. And then we have the server service. Right? We have server services. You just communicate with request and response. And in server services, we also have a lot of functions there. Those functions, they come in with a different URL patterns, right? Like when there is a request coming from the client, and the server is going to check what is the request URL pattern. And when the URL pattern matches one of the URL pattern we list in the server service, it's going to call a specific function for it. And the function can do anything. It can communicate with the database. It can add stuff to the database. It can do anything, and then give a response back to the client. That's our server service job. It's just checking the URL pattern and run a function. And in that function, we're going to have a REST JSON send back a response back to the client. right? And there's also one thing connected with the server service is our database. Like right now we're using a Mongo database, which is a NoSQL database, right? And in the future, you may also learn other kind of database, like a SQL, like or Microsoft SQL or something like that. But you remember, like all those just database. Their job is just save your data into your computer, into your drive, right? So when we run the function in the server service, they may call another function in our model classes, right? Like a service model, like a page the model, server the model, or like a website server the model. Those functions are using a library called Mongoose. Mongoose, what they do is just directly give the commands to the database. It just help you to type like db the user find, db the user insert, db the user update. It just help you to communicate with the database, right? So the functions in the server service gonna send out request to the database, and ask the database to do either to create a new data, retrieve some information, update old data, or delete some data here. Just give some crude command inside here, right? Just create, retrieve, update, or delete. And once the is done, it's going to tell the server, okay, I finished it, and the server going to give back response to the client. So it's actually very straightforward. We just only have like 4 parts. The component and the client service. This is our client part, and also have our server part, right? And the client and the server in a real company, they can be like totally unrelated, like in different locations. Maybe the client side code is in Los Angeles, and server code is in Boston, in New York. They are not in the same location, they're not running on the same computer. The only way they communicate is like this one, the client side is sending out a request, and the server side going to check a URL pattern. And based on the URL pattern, it's going to run a different function. That's it. So they are not, maybe they're not running the same computer, maybe they are running the same computer, but they're not going to directly call each other. The only way they communicate is using the web API, using the API to communicate with each other. And this, the way the server checks the URL pattern and run function is what API is. It's called what is that? Sorry, I forget it. Let's I just want to, what that stands for. Yeah, application program interface, which is a way. Interface is just a UI. It's a way we give command to the server. So this the way the server get the command is just by a different URL pattern, like /API / login /API / register /API / website /create, something like a different URL pattern. All right. The rule we name those URL pattern. We're usually just gonna start it with a /API. And then we're gonna slash based on different stuff we want to do. If I want to do something with user, usually it's going to be /API user. And now we have the different method here. We have get. Get is for getting retrieve information, and then we have put is to update information, and post to create new information, and then have delete. Right? We have 4 different kind of commands here. And your pattern usually also follows some common rules here. So if we are trying to retrieve, like for example, for the example of the webmaker, if we are trying to retrieve all the user's information, we're definitely going to use get, right? Get is for retrieving information, so it's going to be a get. And your pattern always starts from /API. Which is common rule. So data slow, this is kind of like a API to retrieve data, not just trying to navigate to another page. So it's going to be get /API what we want the all user data. So it's going to be slash user, all slash users. This basically it doesn't have a very strict rule, but it's just a common rule set. This is for retrieving all the user information. But if you don't try to retrieve one user, maybe we're also going to have a user's ID here. This is retrieve a specific user information. And if you want to update this user information, we just change get into post. Post is create new. So if we just I want to update it to something else, we're going to use put. It's going to be put slash API slash user slash UID. If we want to delete this user, it's going to be a delete call. It's going to be delete slash API slash user slash UID. And the UID is going to tell us which user it is. It's going to match the current user's ID in our database. Alright? So again, using the tables we have in the WebMaker 4, they're going to give you an example like how we kind of like structure our rule pattern here. And there's no very strict rule, but it's going to follow a common rule that start with a slash API and a data type. It's either user, website, page, widget. Or if you are working on some other project, it's going to be some other object's name in that project, and following with ID or something like that. Right? So also we have some special cases like a slash API slash login, that's special for logging, and slash API slash register, or just some special rules. Those ways like people use to name their API. Right? So that's basically it. Everything we need to know and everything we've done for our Angular project. Like we have client, have server, have database. Alright, so
So we're learning MongoDB, which is a non-relational database.
Yep.
Do you recommend like companies, do they tend to use relational databases versus?
It depends on the company.
Okay.
Usually it depends on how sensitive the data is. If the data is very sensitive, we prefer to using the SQL database because it's more safe. And if the data is not that no sensitive, like Airbnb, they're using NoSQL database, like to store which user owns which property and who is monitoring which property at this time. Because that's not something like if it's a back system, we're going to using SQL because SQL is going to it's more cares about the reason it's called a relational database. It cares more about the relationship between data and data. For example, if you are making a backing system, you don't want to make any mistake about the money transfer. If the money is reduced from one account, you definitely want to add it to another account. If the money is added to another account, you definitely want to reduce from another account. So you want to make sure that the money are transferred concurrently in two accounts. So
once you link it, it automatically.
Yeah. I already put the videos for the SQL database if you're interested. Like in our videos here, on the bottom here. I think it's in the bottom. Yeah, relational database SQL. It's a playlist. Has 74 videos. Right, it's very latest from my school professor, and they should be real good videos. Yeah, just take some time when you have, or if you're interested in that. And yeah, it totally depends on company. If you are going to working as a full stack developer, most cases you don't need to learn, you don't need to use SQL database. But if you are working on like as a web developer, or just a specific front-end developer, back-end developer, or as even a database developer, they're usually using SQL database. So it actually depends on the company. When you're trying to search for a job, you're gonna mention what kind of technology I use, and you want to apply for the jobs that are related to your current skills. And if in some positions, like they're using a different technology, you're gonna like learn it first, before you apply for it. we're gonna explain why we're going to do the way we're gonna we're not trying to apply for the companies we are not familiar with. I mean, the technology we're not familiar with. We're gonna talk about this later. All right. So today we are going to learn a new front end library. Instead of Angular, we're going to learn React. So what we're gonna do right now is, so let me erase this quickly. So previously we have our client side is using the Angular, and the backend side, the server side, we're using the Node.js and the Express. JS. Those are two libraries for the server side. This is for the client side. And we also know the database is MongoDB. So it's these four different technology combined together. It's a way we build up. It's gonna be the only all the technology we need to build a full stack develop application, like including the server, database, and client side. And we actually have a name for it. We call it a min stack. The M stands for the Mongoose, E stands for Express, A stands for Angular, and stands for Node.js. This is a very popular like a combination of the technologies to create full stack applications. It's called a min stack. But as time goes, like there's a new library come out which is called React, and people will start thinking about React is maybe a better choice rather than Angular. So they replace the Angular here with a React, and it creates more stack. Yeah, that's true. I mean, this is how people are calling it right now. So today we're going to learn a new library called React, and we're going to using React to replace our client side. Instead of using Angular, we're using React, right? And we're going to start from very basic, talk about how the React is working and the syntax of it, and we're using React to replace the Angular what we're using, right? So React, it's comparing with Angular, React is a much smaller library. Like Angular is very big. It contains like HTML, it contains JavaScript, which is TypeScript, right? It contains like some animation we didn't cover in class, but you just need to know. Like Angular also has its own animation library, and it also has its own CSS framework, like something like the Bootstrap, but we still didn't use it. So it contains everything inside. And the React is much smaller library. It's only working focused on your views, like how to render your page. This is only React takes care of, right? And also React is not something really hard. It's not really a new language. It's just a JavaScript library, which is still using the JavaScript languages. Alright, let's start. So React is, yeah, as I said, it's a client-side JavaScript library. Help you to care about take care about your views. It's created and maintained by Facebook, and Angular is created by Google. Just some background, and it's used to build some dynamic user interface, similar like the Angular, right? It helps you to do the data binding, and every time when you change the data, it's gonna re-render your page. React is similar. It's just also some some organizational library, and also help to take care of your the way help you to make your interface more dynamic, more interactive, right? And it's render everything as a component. And this is a so React is literally one of the first libraries to start treating stuff as components. And Angular actually learned this from React. You see, like in Angular, we also call the pages into components. And the React also, like we call the pages, we call the content as different components. We'll see how it works. All right. And it refers. It only take care of your views part. It doesn't care about your in MVC structure. It only cares about how the page is rendered, right? It's only take care about the view part. Library or framework. We'll talk about this for long. There's no really correct way to see this one is a framework, another one is a library. Basically, it's like some way different have different opinion about which one is library, which one is framework. But we usually technically we're gonna call React is a library because it's much smaller than some like a framework. We usually try to treat framework is like really large libraries like Angular. It contains a lot of stuff. So React is basically we're not gonna call it a framework. We'll call it a library. And some people also prefer to call React as a framework. The reason is that we usually compare the React with other frameworks like Angular, like some others like Vue. Those comparing with because we tend to we try to to compare the React with those frameworks. So this is also the reason why some people prefer to call the React as a framework, but it's literally a library, right? And React, like Angular itself, it has something like a routing, like data binding, some other like animation. So React itself, it's not that powerful. It only cares about your view, but there's some helper libraries. Like React has its own library called like a React routing, React DOM, and it also has its own some animation library or some other libraries. All these libraries comes together. We can treat it as a framework, but it's not like a Angular coming in a unit. It's just can be separated. You can choose to use this, choose to not use that. You can just it depends on yourself. It's not like Angular. If you just want to use Angular, you have to install everything from them. So this is also the reason why people prefer to using React nowadays, because it's much more smaller, much more like a free. Like you can choose to using. It's easier for you to add in React into your old project. But if you just try to change your old JavaScript code into Angular, it's going to be much harder because Angular is like a restricted. You have to ask you to you have to using my way to do data binding. You cannot combine your old code with me. You have to using like NG, NG4, and you will see like React is much more friendly to your existing project. Right? Yeah, those are just some benefits of using the React. This is also the thing they announced in their own website. Actually, we can go there to check it. React. So they have the declarative, makes it painless to create interactive UIs and design simple views for each state. And it's component based. We talked about it. It's treat everything as component. We're gonna talk about more in a second. And it's load once, write anywhere. So it doesn't care about your rest of your technology stacks. Like you can use React with any other libraries. It's not like Angular. If you use Angular, you have to use all Angular technologies. But if you're using React, it's much easier to combine React with other different libraries, right? Now see that. So it's declarative, component-based, and load once, right anywhere. And also this is also talk about why we should learn the React. And it's definitely gonna make the JavaScript easier. It's just like the Angular, it helps you to do the data binding and those things. Just make it easier than just write the JavaScript code. And also it helps you to organize your code. Because as an organization library, it's gonna help you to organize your data into one file, help you to order your functions into another file, just help you to organize your code, let's say, and reusability. So this is because of the React is a component based. We're gonna talk about it more. Like it's going to like you are well as a developer, we're trying to be a lazy developer. Like we usually don't write the same thing twice. We'll try to minimize the size of code, also minimize our working. So we're gonna see how it works. Like we're just using one component and to put it in different places to instead of write again and again. Like for example, like the footer we have in the Angular. You see like the footers in each page, basically they are very similar. And we actually can treat the footer itself as a component. And we use that component like in every page. So instead of writing the footer 10 times, just write it one time and apply it on different pages. Right? We're gonna see how it works.
We do that on Angular.
Yeah, we can do that in Angular, but we didn't cover that because Angular is not that good on like a component based. Like if you're trying to like do that in Angular, it's going to be a little bit harder to transfer the data from one component to each child component. It's not impossible, but it's just not as frequent. I mean, as convenient as a React. I'm gonna say it, right? And also it's like scalability and efficiency. It's just so yeah. React has a feature. For example, we can like the way the React is thinking stuff is like everything is different component. Like this page, so this page it has a footer, and the footer can be a component, and that has a main page. The main page like this showcase can be another component. Then the paragraph here, like this part can be one component, and this can be another component. So the reason we say it is efficiency is because like every time when you update something on this page, for example, maybe we updated the title, like there's a one button in the navbar. The way React working is that when you update it, it's not gonna re-render the whole page. It knows like which component you just edited, and it's gonna be just re-render that button itself. It won't re-render the whole page. Instead, it just re-render that component, the small part. So it saves a lot of time. Like when you re-render a whole page, it's gonna reload everything. But if you just re-render that button, it's just gonna re-render this small component here. Alright? Like the mSimple website, it is using React right now. If I log out, right? You see, it's not gonna re-render the whole page. Just re-render this icon, this button on the right corner here in the navbar. If I log it in, it's not re-render the whole page, like the background image, the words I typed, right? It's just gonna re-render this small part here. Like it's my home page. When I log out, it's not gonna the other things won't change. Only thing changes is just the three buttons in the navbar. So these are only things changing. The page, it didn't say the page is reloading or something. It's not taking even 1 second. Right? So this is why we think we see React is very efficient, right? And also it have a benefit like it's lighter than most other frameworks. It's very small, very lightweight, right? Compared with Angular. Also, it helps you to get a job. This is one of the most popular libraries in the market right now. Most of the companies are looking for the React developers, right? And then we are going to start to create a React project, right? So to create React project, we also need to install the we're going to like the way we install the Angular. We're going to install the React. So we're going to go to the React library. They have the documents here. Have to try React, I think. Well, yeah, create a new React application. How
How do I create? The many, just recommend you to read the docs here. It's very helpful, and it's comparing with other libraries. It's very clear. They have a really good doc here. Create a new app. Yep. So here I actually have the thing. So I'd like to for the React, I'd like to you to do it with me. All right. We're going to stop step by step and help you to following me to learn it together. Because we're not going to have a specific assignment for React. All right. We're going to do this together, and using then we're going to put students into the different groups, and you're going to learn more and practice it in the groups. But like when I teach it, I just want to students right now to follow with me to learn together, and I help you to help you to fix any issues you get into, any problems you have there, all right, and to prepare you for the upcoming project. So let's create a new React app together. So
Right now?
yeah, right now. So it's like the way we install we create the Angular, right? We're gonna do npm install and Angular/CLI, and React also has its own command. It's called create React amp. We're going to use npx to install it, right? So right now let's I just copied the first line here, and let's make another WebMaker app, but this time we're going to using the React. All right, this time we're going to use React. Just practice together. So we can git bash here. Right, inside here, we'll just paste what we just copied. npx create app, and my app here basically is the name of your application. And in here we can call it WebMaker React, because this is a React version of the WebMaker. Right, let's do it together. And it will take me a couple minutes to run it. It's just the same as Angular. It's going to install all the basic dependencies you need for React project.
Shoot. I'm reinstalling those again.
Why do you? So let's do it together. So just open your command or open your git bash and do a npx create React app and give a name of your application.
I think stop because it creates it inside my control C.
Yeah, Control C to stop it. You can delete it. Yeah, Control C. Okay. You may want to go to outside of desktop. Yeah. This is going to be a new project, so just install it on your desktop or in any empty folders. It's not going to be part of our WebMaker. Use just data, don't have the video. Data just context. Information that a lot of times and the data are really just context. It asks you to firstly commit the changes. You still need to commit it, otherwise the one will ask you to close it. Or you can change when you change it into the command. It's one change. So if you don't want to change it back. 1 second. Let me just stop recording this.